The people of Bekuma and Ekbedo communities in Akoko local government area of Edo State want the state government to urgently intervene and resolve a growing boundary dispute. The traditional ruler of Ekbedo community, Oba John Afolabi Obabori, and his Bekuma counterpart, Oba Moses Alabi, said this while speaking to Channels Television on the recent communal clash between both communities.
Now you're talking.
Burnt houses and schools, destroyed property as well as wounded and displaced people are images that greet you on arrival at Bekuma and Ekbedo communities in Akoko Edo local government area of Edo State. These two communities have been neighbors for so many decades, but all that changed on March 30th, 2016, when the tussle over the ownership of this piece of land set the two communities on a war path. When Channels Television visited the feuding communities, the scars of the crisis was still palpable, as some of the residents are still in pains, while some others recount their experiences.
I saw the man from the mirror. You get to a house, you see, watching a gun straight to our house. I was coming, when I saw it, it wasn't, I dodged, and that was how I came. If not, I didn't know, it would have been my chest.
Traditional rulers of the two communities not only attempt an explanation of what transpired, but are clear on how to prevent the bloodletting and wanton destruction of property.
What I heard was the Ekbedo people have started macheting some of my subjects, my chiefs, in their various houses. The government should put a lasting solution by demarcating and putting a thing to boundaries between Bekuma and Ekbedo.
Some of my subjects went to the farm and they wanted to get water to drink, while they were walking. Then from nowhere, some group of people just emerged. And then there was this argument between them. One of them was shot. As soon as the father of the dead boy heard of the death of his son, he collapsed and died. If they cannot correct the anomalies, it may be difficult to actually get results.
Back in Benin City, the capital of Edo State, the chairman of Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee says the body has not received any report on the crisis, but insists that the necessary step will be taken to address such anytime the matter is brought before it.
It is so unfortunate that such a prominent area, community in Edo State, things happen, they don't know what to do. Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee of the Edo State government is an instrument with the government to checkmate all these incessant clashes in communities and around the states, with a view of educating on them and then prefer solution.
For now, security have been beefed up in the area, but residents want more than that. And to this end, they are calling on the government to take steps in order to prevent a repeat of the ugly incident between these two neighbors.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Troops of the 7th Division Strike Group Team B and members of the 22 Task Force Brigade have conducted a simultaneous raid on suspected Boko Haram terrorist hideout in Borno State. The troops cleared out hideouts in Bigoro, Warpaya and Aura communities in Bama local government area. The essence of the operation was to stop reported criminal activities of remnants of Boko Haram terrorists hiding in the 3 villages. The surprise attack yielded positive results, though, as the troops recovered well-concealed observation posts on trees in the villages constructed by the terrorists. The troops killed 2 Boko Haram terrorists and also recovered 3 AK-47 rifles, magazines and ammunition. In addition, they rescued 2 children abducted by the terrorists. And as security forces continue to take absolute control of the northeast zone of the country, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has reopened the 123, that will be a 132-kilometer Damaturu-Biu road, with assurances that other roads in affected areas will be reopened for socio-economic activities. The road, which passes through some major communities in Yobe and Borno states, will provide easy access to Adamawa and Gombe states. For over 2 years now, the 132-kilometer road has been under the control of the Boko Haram insurgents, but that has changed. The area has been recaptured by the military a few months ago.
The Damaturu-Biu Road, one of the strategic entry points into Yobe and Borno states. From this road, you can also connect to other parts of the northeast states and the country as a whole. For over 2 years now, the 130-kilometer road has been under the control of the Boko Haram, but was recaptured by the military a few months ago. It was then closed from civilian use because of security. With several communities liberated and peace gradually returning to the communities, locals are beginning to return home, and the need to reopen the road has arisen.
Good people of Yobe State, the good people of Nigeria, and indeed humanity, to declare this road once again open and motorable.
This is the official reopening by the military and the Yobe state government. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, speaks on the impact of the road to the communities.
The Damaturu-Biu road being reopened today is particularly vital to the economic well-being of Yobe State and Borno State. It provides easy link between a large number of communities in the state with neighboring communities in southern Borno, Adamawa and Gombe states. Considering the strategic nature of the road and its socio-economic significance, the commercial activities that are expected to be triggered off by this reopening will definitely encourage the return of more people to their communities.
The Commissioner for Works in Yobe State appreciates the military for their intervention in restoring peace to the northeast.
I would like to join all the good people of this state and indeed Nigeria for thanking the military, other security agencies for the peace so far achieved. Everybody from Yobe, Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, everybody from the northeast knows the difference between peace and lack of it.
He also assures that the road will be rehabilitated.
30% of the mobilization fees has already been given to the contractor. If not for the intensity of the insurgency, maybe the road by now would have been finished. But I assure you, sir, that this road, as important as it is, will be given all the support and all the funding that is necessary.
With the improved peace in the northeast, the Chief of Army Staff promises to reopen the Maiduguri-Damasak Road, Maiduguri-Bama-Goza-Yola Road, among others.
The Damaturu-Biu road, a major route which extends from Yobe to Borno State, is now reopened for use, and residents of the town around the area are pouring praises on the Nigerian army for this achievement. A lot more progress has also been made in freeing the occupied territories, but military experts think that it is too early to celebrate, but rather they think it is necessary for the army to empower its men and provide them with more assistance in order to keep the progress on. And joining me on the news at 10 to discuss the progress made so far is Group Captain Felix Iheanacho. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the news at 10. Do you suppose, though, it's time to celebrate the progress made so far by the military?
Well, I would say yes. We need to celebrate the achievements so far. Of course, that has so many implications. It will also boost the morale and encourage our forces to do more. So as a matter of fact, it's encouraging. And I would say kudos. I doff my cap for them, and we need to do more though.
So how does the military sustain this progress it has made so far against the insurgents?
Well, the sustenance is, we need to, like I said, we need to keep the momentum. We mustn't lose the momentum. The government, of course, we are having an encouragement from this level of the political leadership, and if that encouragement keeps going on, and then we do the needful, all those things that we need to put in place, obviously we will not only win the war, we will also win the peace.
Now, you are aware that the major problem in the Northeast has been attacks by Boko Haram on soft targets. That hasn't apparently been fully resolved up to this time. Is this not too early a celebration?
Well, when I mean celebration, it doesn't mean go to bed. No. You know, we are dealing with terrorism. What we are actually winning is the aspect of the insurgency, which is an offshoot of the terrorism. Terrorism, we need to keep working on it. If we remove the terrorism, of course, we cannot have insurgents. The insurgency in the Northeast, as it were, because it's as a result of the terrorist activities, one of their methods of operation. So, we are dealing with terrorism, gaining territories, but the terrorists are still there among us. It doesn't stop them hitting targets in Abuja, anywhere in the country, and that's why I'm saying that when I mean celebration, we are celebrating territorial gains that we have recovered from as a result of the insurgency that has been in place, but that does not mean we have defeated the terrorism occasioned by Boko Haram. We need to keep doing work on that.
To sustain it,
yes,
to sustain the effort.
That's right.
Now,
yeah.
There are reports also that members of the Boko Haram sect have run out of food and supplies. What can be done to block those channels permanently?
Well, we need to cut off their lines of logistic supply lines.
How do we do that?
Well, just like starving someone of oxygen. We need to starve them of oxygen. Identifying their supply lines, you know, the complexity of this case is simply because they are part of the populace. When you see someone, Boko Haram agent, he looks like me and you. How do you know? Unless he tells you. We don't know them. You don't know them. You can't identify them. So they mingle with the populace. But if we, with good intelligence, actionable intelligence, and we are also acting on those intels, obviously we can degrade their supplies and eventually starve them out of their hideouts and finally obliterate them. Yeah.
So what suggestions do you have or advice do you have on how to finally defeat Boko Haram once and for all? We don't want to hear about them anymore.
Good. That is, we need to now know, we need to bring into place the mechanisms to deal with terrorism, and that is a comprehensive security response.
By that, what do you mean?
Interagency processes. We need to have an appropriate architecture, a counter-terrorism architecture. We need to establish one in Nigeria. We don't have that in place right now. So we need to have that architecture, and that architecture fits in with our international partnership, because you know terrorism is a multinational, is a transnational crime. It's not an in-country crime, so to speak. It's multinational in nature. Therefore, we need to work with multinational partners, and for us to work with them, we need to have an in-country overarching architecture which can deal with terrorism, and that is actually how to go about that.
Group Captain Felix Iheanacho, I want to thank you so much indeed for speaking to us
Many
on the
thanks.
News at 10.
Thank you.
Residents of Ihiala Umunze in Orumba South local government area of Anambra State can now heave a sigh of relief as water scheme projects have been built in their communities. Governor Willie Obiano, who commissioned the projects, said this as part of his administration's commitment in alleviating the sufferings of the people.
Governor Willie Obiano at the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Igbariam campus in Anambra East local government area. He is here to commission the newly built 420,000-litre capacity water scheme with 11-kilometer reticulation.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Governor Obiano tells his audience that his mission is to ensure that residents feel the impact of governance.
When I took over office March 17, 2014, this was the second place I visited because I was told that the students had challenges with water. I'm happy that today we are about to make sure that past history is buried once and for all. That from today, you will be having water in your hostels regularly.
The Vice Chancellor of the university commends the state government's intervention, promising that it will be well utilized.
We need water for our faculties. We need water for our departments. We need water even for this pharmaceutical sciences building that is coming up very soon. So we thank His Excellency for this giant project, sited right inside the university.
Governor Obiano also commissions another water scheme in Ihiala local government area and Umunze in Orumba South local government area. The one in Umunze is the largest, with a storage capacity of 870,000 litres and will serve over 35,000 households daily.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
God sent you at this time to rescue Anambra State. You are a gift to this state. I'm very, very sincere and I'm very honest. Man said that you're working with nothing. How are you doing it, Your Excellency? That is the question. But I call you a miracle worker.
With the 3 communities now having potable water, the governor appealed to the residents to take ownership of the project and also protect it from vandals.
Still ahead on the news at 10. The King of Clay is back. Rafael Nadal defeats Gael Monfils to win his first Masters title since 2014 at the Monte Carlo Masters. Stay with us.